So we got a permit to go out there and do a research pilot. So we went there in October. We cut some plants, took some samples. We worked with Medicinal Genomics out of Boston and did some DNA testing to see, and it turned out pretty unique. So now we're going to harvest some acreage this summer and start building the dream out there.
What is it? How's it growing and where's it growing?
So Soviets came in, eradicated everything decades ago. So it's really and they put like traditional crops. So it's really relegated to like runoff valleys and
so
like weird ditches. Yeah.
And ditches.
Yeah. So we went in and we drove backcountry with this like huge like armored vehicle train of cars and went and found plants and stuff. So the goal would be like take some down this year, harvest seed, and then start recultivating the land and just letting it populate naturally because it wants to take it back. Like it really grows well there.
Where do you take this to?
We're gonna do processing out there just to keep everything in house. But the goal would be to like bring some genetics back. We run a farm in Pueblo, 300-acre hemp farm in Pueblo. So it would be cool to introduce some stuff. I also think it'd be cool to sell on the marijuana side if we could introduce genetics to the metric system somehow and sell some landrace on shelves. I think that would be really cool because it's lower potency, but I like that. I can't handle the 25% THC, so something like that would be neat too. So a lot of cool stuff going on.
You should talk a little about the soil because about land and stars. It's very interesting.
You're on camera. It gets close to
it gets close.
It gets real close.
No, because I for the microphone.
Gets really clean at that point, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, exactly.
Our words are really important, right?
Yeah.
No, it's important. So I'm just curious about the soil that these guys are growing in, right?
Yeah. So it's just wilds, right? So it's very. So we grow in Pueblo, and it's like clay and rock. So,
I live in Boulder.
Oh, nice. So out there, I have some samples too that I have still back. If you wanted to like take a look at some of those samples, I brought some back. It's like silt, I think. It's very, very loose. It's very, very fine granule, and I haven't done too much testing with it, so I actually don't know a ton about its content. But it was sandy is probably the good word for it.
So silicate. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of minerals in it.
I think so. It's very dark.
Okay.
But it feels sandy.
And what's the geography of the area? Like I don't know much about Kazakhstan.
So the Tian Shan Mountains are the border of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and China, and that's the valley that this grows in. It's called the Chu Valley.
Okay.
And it's the same altitude as Colorado and scale. So like Bishkek and Almaty are around Denver, and then you have the high country, which is where a lot of the hemp is growing. And that's kind of like Vail-ish in altitude. It's a very hardy plant. I hear that they're auto-flowering, so they start flowering like immediately because it's so harsh and you can get conditions deteriorating. So the plant's very weathered. It's really interesting stuff. We should totally connect. I can show you pictures.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
So the other thing too is the bacteria that's in the soil. That'd be some of the things that if you wanted to bring the genetics back with you, the bacteria sampling would be really important to that.
Okay, because the environment is half the reason that production is the way it is, right?
Yes, and there are certain things like what other things are growing with it?
I didn't see a lot else.
What's growing in the understory? Like what's down below?
So these are the questions that I wish I knew looked at when I was there because I was still kind of novice. I don't remember seeing a ton else. It was
so.
Do
you communicate with the plants?
What's that?
Do you talk to your plants?
No. Give me some tips though. I should bring my farmers over to talk to you.
Well, so you need to talk to your plants.
Yeah. I'm just gonna find these pictures.
Okay. The plants have a lot of information to share with you.
Right.
Okay. So they're operating on a different. We were talking about this, a different frequency and different bandwidth. Okay. So we're pretty fast. We're happening like this. They're more like this in trees. They're more like this in rocks. Stones, they're like really, really slow, okay?
Right.
So you can start to connect with these guys and ask them questions. Start to talk to them and ask them. And then you could probably actually ask them about the bacteria that they're growing in, what they like, what they don't like, why they want to be in that valley, what's growing around them.
Right.
What's their family like?
Yeah.
Why are they there? Right? And they could tell you the story.
That's a good question. Here's some of the fields. So I'm not sure. You see, it's very. This was also in October, so it's kind of late this season. Some of them are really tall, like 12, 13 feet. That'll load really quickly. So it's like bushwhack.
The ground there is really lush.
And it's very dense. They're very densely populated in these areas that they are, but it's been eradicated from like the total landscape. But like I said, these valleys they couldn't get to.
What do the people think about these guys?
The people in the hills that are basically like making hashish and taking the flower,
do they
really
care
like
about
it. They definitely care about it. It's with their culture, absolutely.
Okay.
And the way they would harvest back in ancient times, they still might do it now. Is like they'll run horseback through the fields and then shave the keef off of the horses. So it's a very intimate, very.
Okay, so they're pulling in the animal energies into the.
Yeah.
So that's part of it too, then. So in order for you to replicate.
Some of the plants, obviously a lot of them are male and everything, but like tons of really awesome bugs in there. And
stuff.
Bugs.
We can talk to them too.
Okay.
So see, this is something that like we as like farmers and growers. So I make soil and mulch. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Is we need to develop our ability to communicate with these guys because we'll be able to get answers to these things right now.
Makes sense.
Stephen Booner writes about it a little bit.
Oh, you know about Buner.
A huge plant, like just some massive plants.
Huge.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
They love it.
Really amazing.
They feel appreciated there.
Yeah. And I think they're just tough and weathered because they've been trying to eradicating it for years and it won't go away easily.
It's not going to go away.
No, it's an amazing
plant.
plant.
It's supposed to be there.
Correct.
That's my place. They're fighting for that, but the people love them. So.
Yeah. Like this, we met this guy on horseback who showed us where the last field was. He led the caravan of cars. It was really, really special.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Going on there right now.
Yeah, that's great.
Just all around.